Hey, Mike.
Yeah,
How's fight week going so far?
yeah, it's been great, man. It's been smooth sailing so far.
Yep. Obviously, pretty much any fighter dreams of headlining an event in their home country. Now that dream is your reality. What does this opportunity mean to you to be, in Winnipeg, Canada Life Center, headlining on the poster, main event?
Yeah, this is so special to me. This is something I've been dreaming about since I was probably 12 or 13 years old. This has been one of the big goals, man. Just feels really great.
Does this feel bigger than like main event of a fight night? Is that bigger to you than main card on like a pay-per-view?
They're both excellent. I'm super grateful for both. I think getting your name on the title of the UFC Fight Night is pretty damn cool.
Gilbert Burns obviously is a man standing across from you on Saturday. He's getting up there in age. He's been around for a long time. He's hit a bit of a rough patch. But what kind of Gilbert are you expecting on Saturday?
I'm expecting the best version of him that we've seen so far. You've got to prepare for everything, man. You got to prepare for a guy who's going to come and fight for his life. But that's what we've done the last, whatever it's been, 8 to 10 weeks since I got the call for this fight, and the preparation feels so good going into it. And I'm very confident going into this fight.
Do you think some people have, I don't know if overblown is the right word, but kind of talked a little too much about his decline? Just because if you look at who he's fought and lost to, I mean, it's the best of the best. But what do you make of that? Or do you?
I don't. He's an excellent fighter, and he's what I need in order to compete on Saturday night. I need an opponent, so that's just what has to happen.
How do you feel you're a different fighter today than, say, going into the fight in Toronto a few years ago?
Yeah, in a lot of ways, the main ones are in growth and experience, and I was still quite new to the UFC then, and I only had so much octagon time. I had like 14 minutes of octagon time in four fights, including Contender Series. And since then, since going into that fight, I've had 3 fights go into the third round, and 2 of them go the distance, and another second round stoppage. And I've also spent years understanding what it means to represent my country and understanding what it means to perform and understand what I need in order to be the best version of myself and the most focused and disciplined version of myself.
A lot of people look at you right now as sort of the face of this current generation of Canadian MMA, and obviously I'm not the first one to say that to you. You hear that, I think, all the time. It feels like you've really embraced that role, though. Is there added pressure that comes along with it? And if so, how do you deal with that?
Well, I think number one, it's important to recognize that if people are saying that, that's a blessing. It's an honor to, have people think of me in that way. But that's not my focus, and it's not really my job to have them talk about me. It's my job is my performance and how I prepare for fights and the things that I can control. I can't really control the way people talk about you, right? There are people that are almost always in this sport going to say positive things and almost always going to say negative things. So I try to just focus on what I can control, and that's what's going to happen in the octagon, my preparation and my growth. And I've made a lot of gains this camp, and we pushed in ways that I've never pushed before, and we've brought the best out of me. So I'm focused on that. Anything else, as far as what people say about me, will take care of itself.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, Mike, how you liking Winnipeg so far?
Yeah, I'm having a great time here, man. Haven't seen much outside of the hotel yet, but it's not my first trip out here, and we'll have some fun this afternoon.
So there's 9 Canadians fighting this weekend. Have you guys kind of come together and embraced one another through this?
Yeah, man, it's been really cool. Obviously, Jazz Davicius is my teammate and a good friend of mine, and we've been on cards a bunch together. So we're in the practice room together every day and have prepared for this. And then, Charles Jourdain's become a good buddy. I love the guy. He's hilarious, and he's always great energy and good people. So got to see him out there and give him a hug. And then, for the other Canadians, so happy for them to have these opportunities, especially for the 2 guys that are, I think it's the 2 guys, 3 that are making their debut. But I know Julien LeBlanc and I know Mandel Nello, and a lot of Canadians have known the skill that these guys bring to the octagon or to their fights throughout the years on the regional scene, and we all believe in them, and they're just so happy to see these guys get their opportunity.
Expecting a lot of friends and family to come out from Ontario?
Yeah, I got a bunch of people coming out, man. Lots of family and some training partners. Got all my coaches with me, man. I got a lot of love in my corner.
And now, what's your message to some Canadian kids that are also dreaming of headlining a fight in Canada?
Yeah, man, just get obsessed. Dream big. One of the things that drives me nuts more than one saying that you always hear growing up or from people in general, and it comes from a good place of people not wanting to have others have their feelings hurt, is like, well, don't get your hopes high. Don't get your hopes too high about sometimes small things and sometimes big things. It's like, why, man? Get your hopes as high as they possibly can, and then work for it and be proud of what you put in. If you put all your effort, man, get your hopes up, work for it, and try your best.
And what can Winnipeggers expect from you on Saturday night?
The most prepared, focused, disciplined, dangerous version of me.
Thank you.
Mike, can you describe the feeling of what it's like fighting on Canadian soil, walking to the octagon, having 15,000 plus Canadians likely chanting your name?
Yeah, man, it's awesome. I love fighting in Canada. You know, I don't know if there's necessarily an advantage once the fight starts, a fight being in Canada versus somewhere else, but what it certainly does is it makes every fight feel that much more special and like that much more of a celebration. You know, you only get so many fights in an octagon, right? Like I'm not doing 50 of these. I'm not getting 50 fights in the UFC. It's not an NHL career where you have countless games and you forget most of them, right? I'm going to remember all these and having moments where I walk out and have people chant and cheer and get excited for my fight in particular, man, that's special to me.
Is there a certain characteristic or trait that you think most, if not all, Canadian fighters have?
No, I think fighting is very unique. And when you look at martial artists, everyone's on a completely different journey. The way that take almost any fighter and compare them to another, and they've got maybe similar characteristics, but I've seen high-level guys be completely different from other high-level guys, right? Like a great example is, an excellent fighter who fought on the weekend is Yuri. Like, you can't really compare that guy to anybody, right? He's such a unique cat, and for that reason, he's so entertaining, and people love to watch him.
Obviously, you have some previous ties to Winnipeg, but since this card has been announced here, what have you experienced about Winnipeg? What have you learned about Winnipeg, just since it's all been announced and you thought you were going to be main eventing here?
Yeah, shortly after I found out I was going to be main event, they brought me out here for a little media tour for a couple of days. And the thing that I enjoyed the most about Winnipeg was just how excited everyone was that the UFC was coming back. People were truly grateful to have the UFC come back to Winnipeg. It felt weighted. It felt important to them. It felt like people really valued this. And that just made me so much more excited to head back to Ontario and finish up my camp and come to Winnipeg to perform.
This last one for me, is there a certain interaction that kind of sticks out most in your mind with a Winnipegger or something like that?
Not any one, but everyone I met was so positive and sweet and excited and just wishing nothing but the best. So it was great energy out here. It set a really good vibe for me going into this fight week.
Any of the Jets, did they say that they're coming out tomorrow?
Yeah. I got to meet the guys at the game, before the game, whatever it was, 6-7 weeks ago. And they gave me a jersey and all signed it. And they're like, yeah, man, we're going to get as many guys as we can out to the game or out to the fight. The season's going to be likely over by then. Unfortunately, they didn't make the playoffs. But they're like, well, then we'll all pile in and get as many tickets as we can and enjoy your fight. So it's cool to watch them play and hope they enjoy watching me fight.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike, this is your first 5-round fight in the UFC. I think you had one scheduled, on the regional scene, but I think that ended in the first round, if I'm correct. What does that change sort of in the lead up, and are you kind of excited about the potential of those extra 10 minutes should it go there?
Yeah, I think it's very exciting, right? You have 10 more minutes to work to get the job done, to find ways to pick somebody apart. You just get extra time to I get extra time to be the martial artist that I am, and that's an intelligent and violent and patient fighter. So I think 25 minutes favors me very well.
Burns is ranked number 11th in the division. I think you're the type of guy that you're just very focused on Saturday and try not to look too far ahead, but knowing what's on the line and that you will be in the top 15, maybe top 10 with a win, like, is it tough to not look ahead and kind of think about, I'm gonna see my name on the UFC.com rankings next Tuesday?
Not really. You know, I saw my name on the rankings next Tuesday, the last time out, and until Makhachev came up and bumped everybody down one slot. So I've already seen it there, right? I've already seen my name in the rankings. And, you know, of course, I look forward to seeing that again next Tuesday, but there's a job to do before then.
Last one. I believe your brother made his NHL debut in this arena at the Canada Life Center. Even though, you know, you're from Ontario, this isn't your home city or home province. Like, does that kind of, I don't know, make it feel a little cooler? Or do you have a connection? Does your family kind of have a connection now to this arena, first main event for you?
Of course, yeah. This is where my brother made his pro hockey debut, and, you know, he spent 4 years playing out here. This was, you know, for us, it's the fight arena, but for them it was their barn, you know. They were, you know, he played a lot of games here, and Winnipeg holds a special place in his heart. And, you know, I was talking to him this morning before all the media started, and he's like, man, you know, so excited for you. They just made the playoffs, the Kings. So he's like, I got to stick around here, but man, I wish I could fly up there for a day and just come out and watch you, man, because that's just so cool. But I'll be watching on TV. So, yeah, Winnipeg certainly holds a special place in his heart and in my family's heart.
Thank you.